Hello macro shooters, this is Mike from Underwater Macro HowTo, and today I'm taking you through some dry land skills training. In other words, skills that you can work on at home so that when you go out and go underwater, you can take better photos. Okay, today we're focusing on focus skills, okay, and I have a couple drills for us to do. I'm joined today by my friend and professional model, Fred the Frogfish. I'm recording this with a TG-6 that just has a video cable connected to it, so that way you can see. As a refresher, there are two different types of focus modes on the TG-6. The first one is the normal press the shutter button, right? Shutter, so that's just shutter focus. You take a photo, okay? So that's shutter focus. We'll use that for a couple of drills. And then the other way to focus is the focus lock. You half press the shutter. You get that green box that shows you that you have a focus, and then you push the OK button. Okay, in this case I didn't do it. Okay, and that locks the focus. Then you can use the up and down arrow in order to move that focus. In this case I have focus peaking turned on, so that yellow area that you can see is where my focus is. In order to get it out of focus lock, just hit the OK button. That takes you back to normal regular focus. The first drill that we want to go through is called the sticky shutter. And for the sticky shutter, what we do is we move in close. So we move into something like macro range. We focus with the shutter focus. We move and reframe the shot. Check that our focus is still in place. And take a shot. Right. The whole idea behind this is that a lot of times when you're moving, you want to focus and then move that focus selectively. So for instance, if we want this little bit of his comb here to be in focus, but we also want the eye, so we can focus here. We can move out until we see that the eye is in focus. Reframe a little bit like that. Put that reframe like this to the thirds or the rule of thirds, and then take our shot, which gives us something like that. Okay. Another good example is a straight on shot here where I want the eyes in focus, but they're hard to focus on. I can't really focus on that when I'm moving because of current. So what I will do is I'll take a focus on that nice big flat front of his face and then move the camera in. See, I can move the camera all the way. But in this case, I'll move the camera in so that both the face and the eyes are in focus and shoot my shot. Okay, you have to practice doing this maybe 10 or 15 times until you can do it within, say, 2 seconds. Okay. Another, as a side note here, you can go and look at different places on your model that you can shoot. Okay. Or practice moving in and getting closer to your model. So in this case, let's just take this little foot here. Okay, maybe reframe in a little. Okay, but it's just mostly just playing around. The actual process is focus, move your framing, look to see if your focus is correct, and then snap your shot. The next exercise that we want to do is back button sniping. And in back button sniping, what we want to do is go from not having a focus on the target at all to a locked focus and taking the shot that we want. So to start, what we do is we look at something completely different. So this coffee mug here, we get a focus. Okay? We move back to our subject at a good macro range. We focus, we lock it, and then we move the focus. So instead of moving the camera, we move the focus to get it to that nice focus that we want, and then shoot. Okay. Go ahead and hit the OK button, unloose or loosen up the focus lock, focus on another object, move back to our subject, focus, lock focus, and move focus to what we want. In this case, let's focus right here on his little lure. Whoops, I messed that up. Okay, let me start again. Focus here, move back to the eye, get a focus, lock focus, move focus away until we get that, and go ahead and shoot. Okay. Release the focus, get a focus, move to a different spot. I'm going to take this nice. Lock focus, move focus in and out. In this case, I want it roughly like that, and shoot. The next drill that we want to do is called the runaround. Now for the runaround, what we want to do is move in close to a macro range, get a focus, doesn't matter where, it could be anywhere on the subject, lock the focus, move the focus in a little bit. Now we're going to go look at something else, move back to the subject, move the camera in and out until we get a good shot, and then shoot. We then move to a different angle, move back to the subject, pick a different spot on him, move the camera in and out until it's in focus, and take a shot. Break that framing, move back to the subject, get the framing we want, check the focus, and shoot. Okay. The whole idea behind this is that you keep the same focus and the same focus distance, and you move the camera in as you work the subject to get a series of shots. So that way you're not constantly readjusting your focus and constantly resetting your focus. Okay. Look someplace else, look back at the subject, nice beautiful tail, and taking that shot. Now you do this a lot. I do this constantly when I'm taking shots underwater. Is I'll get a good framing, because you've got a lot of different things at play. You've got current, which messes up your framing. It also messes up your focus and your focus distance. You've got maybe a subject that's moving. And so what I'll do is set up my focus, hold the camera in one spot, and then move to get my different framing as I go through and work that subject. That would be better with two eyes. Let me turn them around here. Okay. That blue in the background, yeah. A little bit in, a little bit out, and the next drill we want to go through is something called split focus. And with split focus, we want to take two different points. In this case, I'm going to use this eye and this foot, and we're going to lock focus and try to get both of those in focus at the same time. So I'll need to do something like this, get my initial focus, lock that focus. Now I will move the camera around until I can get that focus on both of those at the same time at the right angle, something like that. Okay. Now I'm going to use the tail in that foot. Okay, in this case, I've got a tail, I've got a foot. Do something maybe, and I want a good framing. So maybe something like that. Okay. The entire idea behind this is that when you focus, that creates a fixed distance from that lens. So it looks like this. And what you want to do is you want to put both of those 2 points on the subject in that same plane. So in order to do that, you move the camera and rotate it around the subject in little micro moves until those two points are in the same focus. Okay, so for instance, if I want that eye and the tail, I'll have to adjust my focus out in. So if I want the tail and the eye together to be in focus, I'll have to be at this angle from the side of the fish. If I'm more up front, like this, I can put that eye in focus like that, but that tail starts to get soft. So as I move, I can move around at an angle, and I'm watching both of them, and something like this, obviously from the side, you're going to get both of those in focus, and you can go ahead and take your shot. Okay? But the trick is you pick 2 points and then try to move the camera so that they're both in focus. And the next exercise I want to take you through is not the droids you're focusing on, or focusing on a different subject and then moving the focus onto the subject. Okay? I'll do this a lot where I have a subject that maybe is camera shy and I know that I only have a chance at 1 or 2 shots, or with a subject that's where I just have too many variables, right? So the current is pushing me around, the subject is moving back and forth, and so what I'll do is I'll pick a completely different object. I'll estimate the range or the distance between my camera and the subject here. I'll bring it onto the minor one. So I'll estimate the distance from the camera to the subject, get a focus lock, move back to my subject, move in and out until the subject is in focus, reframe, and then take my shot. Okay, so the whole idea, and I do this a lot. If you look through my SD card after a dive, you'll see tons of different pictures of the bottom where I've set that focus distance. Just because I like literally went like this, used the bottom of the ocean like this, set a focus, move back into my subject, and snapped a shot. Okay, so it's just one of those tricks that you can keep in your bag if you're having a problem focusing on the subject. Sometimes, especially with macro, the subjects are just so small that you don't have any good large object on them or good surface on them that you can take a focus on. And so you just focus on an arbitrary object, come back to your subject, and then take that shot. And then the last drill that we want to do is for subjects that are moving. And you'll see this a lot with things like skeleton shrimp, where they're on a hydroid and the hydroid is moving back and forth. And really, before that hydroid can move into your focus zone, you get a focus and take a shot, that subject is already out of the frame of the photo. So what we'll do is we'll pick a spot to focus. It doesn't have to be the actual subject. It can be the bottom, it can be another object. It doesn't really matter. You just want to set a focus point. Okay? And then as this frogfish moves in and out of my photo, I've got that focus point, and all I have to do, as he's moving in and out, I can make a snap. Of course, he is a little fast, So what I want to do is hit my quick menu, bump up my ISO. So let's just use 800. That's about right. Okay. Now what you'll see is that increases my shutter speed. My shutter speed is in the lower left-hand corner of the camera screen. That increases my shutter speed to 160. So as he is, let me get my focus again here. Okay, focus lock. As he comes across, okay, I can take a picture of that moving subject, and as long as he's inside of that focus plane, I can get a photo of him. Okay. So that's really good. You can also do this using your finger if you really want. So my finger is at the right focus distance, and I just move my finger back and forth. And then when it gets in the center of the photo, I'll take a picture. Now, this isn't as 100% as you might want it to be, but it's still better than pictures with an empty screen because that subject was moving. And my first dozen attempts at skeleton fish or skeleton shrimp turned out that way. So that's dryland macro skills in a nutshell. I hope you've enjoyed this. As always, please like, subscribe. I think I have all of 89 subscribers right now, which is, it's rather humorous. Anyway, have a nice day, and I'll see you underwater.